Yes, blessed love people. Welcome once again to Community Conversations. Afua speaks. And I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you've achieved all your goals this week. I hope that you've been in peace and centered as I have been. It's been a really, really busy week in terms of just about everything, not only on the campaign and looking at new cases, but also looking at previous cases, which we're going to be discussing this evening. Excuse me. So yes, my people, as usual, we wait for the community to gather. As usual. Yes, indeed. I can see that. Greetings all about the black. I can see that my moderators are in. Lioness Keeks. You don't know. It is what it is. So yes, my people. I want to get this show over as quickly as possible tonight because I'm out. I'm going out tonight. So hopefully we can kind of wrap it up within the hour. I'm hoping that is the case. If it's not, it is what it is. And we will run on. If people want to come on and speak, that's fantastic too. But we are really going to broach some very serious issues tonight, my brothers and sisters. But the first thing that's up, actually, we're going to discuss the things that we have been discussing in the last 2 episodes or the last 2 weeks. We're going to be discussing that. But before we get to that, we are going to kind of revisit. I don't know if you remember Sister G that came on and was speaking to us about a guy called Andrew Richardson, who had come from Jamaica, was taken in by her parents with his wife and proceeded to abuse this woman when she came on and told her story. You guys will probably remember. So we've been able to obtain his whereabouts in Portmore in Jamaica. We've been able to obtain his whereabouts, and not only have we located the church, which I've written to, I've been able to email them. I wasn't able to get actually a number of a particular of the pastor. There was a number that I was trying, but it just didn't bear any fruit. So I've emailed them. I've made them aware of what one of their parishioners has been up to in the UK. But I've also got a personal number to this individual. Now, I've spoken to Sister G, and she's in agreement that what we're going to do actually is we're going to use on my WhatsApp, and we're actually going to call that individual online and ask him to answer for whatever let's see what his reaction is. We want to confront him. That's what we want to do. We want to confront him and see what he's about, really. I tell you, my brothers and sisters, I will be taking the next 2 weeks off, to be fair. I will definitely be taking the next 2 weeks off. We've got a lot of work to do in terms of getting the helpline up and running. That needs a lot of focus. We also need to look at some new cases and actually follow up on some other cases as well, because there has been some police reports that's gone in recently about some cases. I'm not going to say what now, but progress is being made all the time. And even though it's early months, and we're eight months away from the His Time Is Up, March of 2022, there's still so much that I want to put into that actually didn't happen the last time because we were just moving a little bit too fast. We had the idea 1 minute, the momentum built, and then next minute we were on the streets. It was really a very short window. And just thinking back on that time, it's just commending everybody, from everybody who turned out to the team, to everybody that was involved, that actually brought that together and made that happen in a very, very short space of time. We want to be more organized and we want to have more impact, not just in Brixton, but around the country this time. So there's a lot that goes into it, my brothers and sisters. A lot of work being done behind the scenes, as I said. Just 1 second for me. And once the helpline is up and running and it's staffed as well, we're going to be able to roll that out, and it will actually be a live line in the community. And at that point, obviously, we're going to want to promote that. Things are growing all the time in terms of not just support systems and infrastructure for our brothers and sisters in the community, but also in terms of getting these cases, moving them on, nudging them where they need to be. So it's very, very important what's been happening, my brothers and sisters. I'm just saving this number in my phone. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So we're actually going to give this guy a call. Whether or not he answers, I don't know. What's Jamaica now? 5 hours behind us, I think. More or less 5 hours behind us. Yeah, 5 hours at the moment. Or is it 6? What time would that be? About 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So people are getting off work. I do believe this individual works. He really does present himself as an upstanding member of the community. And I want to make everybody, I'm just going to reiterate time and again on this platform, for those people that, you know, don't seem to understand what the focus of this platform is. It is about information that is received, that is verified and checked to be true, and that is highlighted on this platform in order for those people to be exposed within the community, so that we are able to provide that safety to the community. We need to know who's walking amongst us, my brothers and sisters. It's as simple as that. And the only people that seem to have a problem with that are those in denial, associates, friends, and family of the perpetrators, or the perpetrators themselves. That's it. You know, that's it. You get one and two stragglers like what's this brother's name again? Lies and truths and wrongs, lies and rights, whatever the bloody hell his name is. Truth and rights. Where has he gone, brothers and sisters? No more truths and rights on the internet, no YouTube, no nothing. We can't hear nothing from the man. Where's Double D? Is he up in here? Oh my gosh. So we no longer have to listen to the vile, venomous and demonic rantings of that ridiculous man. Let's see what happens next. I think he might have tried to reinvent himself on YouTube. I think that is actually on Instagram. I think that's actually the case, yeah. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to hook this person up on my... yes, we have it. So yes, brothers and sisters, you know, there's no other way of really doing that. We've been able to get his number. Ordinarily, I would ask this person, do you want to come on? But with all the evidence that we've received and the testimony that you heard as well from Sister G, no, we're going to actually call him and see what he has to say for himself. So let's try and do it. I hope you guys can hear this. And see what this man has to say for himself, because we're often accused of not asking people what it is that we're often accused of asking of not allowing the perpetrators to speak. But so many times, especially on Instagram, I had whole lives dedicated to whether or not Rat was going to come, and when Edwards was going to come, and so on. We do give them a chance to speak, but this individual has really been ignoring my messages that I've sent him on a different number, actually. So now we're going to try and actually get hold of that individual. His name is Andrew Phillips in Jamaica. So let's try. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Hopefully you can. Don't think he's actually connected. You know, on WhatsApp where it says ringing instead of, where it says calling instead of ringing. Once it does that, I actually think that it's not connected. Well, he's a lucky chap. Maybe we'll try a little bit later on and see what happens. Or maybe he's actually watching this live. That's probably what it is, more than likely, you know. We've definitely tried the best that we can to send that video, the live video, around Jamaica. A lot of people have shared it. It's only a small place, and the likelihood is that he probably would have got a heads up, and he may well be in the bushes, as it's known on this live at the moment. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So yes, my brothers and sisters, we'll try him a little bit later on, but let's move into he's in the chat. Okay, well, he's in the chat. Well, you know something, Andrew Richardson, you're a nastiness. And you need to answer for what it is that you've done. And we've already written to your church, and we will be writing to your workplace. We are transparent here. We're not going to hide and talk. That's not what we do. That's not what His Time Is Up family is all about. This campaign has always been about lifting the lid on the wickedness and the dirtiness that goes on in our community. And unfortunately for us, my brothers and sisters, it's usually those in the so-called higher echelons, or those that try to put themselves in that position, that are the worst amongst us. It really, really is. Oh, I've got a message. Maybe it's from him. Let's have a look. All right, okay. Blessed love for that, my sister. You know what that was. Yeah, so it really is those that try to put themselves up into the higher echelons, those that, you know, make themselves very well known in the community. Some of them try to be stand-up women and stand-up men. Others just terrorize their way through, but they're still very, very notorious. It's absolutely tragic, UK. Yeah, it's absolutely tragic. I just saw the name, but you've got a laughy face. Absolutely, Desiree. I have given people time and space to come and speak. And guess what? They never, ever do. They send their daughters, they send their sons, their cousins, their nieces, their nieces' lovers, and all the rest of it. They will never, ever come and speak for themselves. All they do is hide in the bushes, make threats. But at the end of the day, like I've always said, I have everything I need to back what it is that I'm saying, because what I'm saying is not from me. It's from individuals. It's an outpouring from the community. That's what people really, really, really need to understand. It is an outpouring from the community. I'm not sitting here, as much as I'm a creative writer, and making stories up just so that I can do this. These are real individuals. That's who they are. Yeah. So I just need people to know that. And as I said, there's been police reports that have gone in very, very recently, over the last week, for a variety of individuals, actually, not just one person, but a variety of people. And we're hoping that we're going to be seeing some results with that. So keep tuned. We'll see what happens. I'm in talks with the right people. I'm in talks with the best way that we can broker people to make their statements to the police. And at the same time stay safe, because that's always been our number one priority. It's a long road for some people, a very, very long road for some people. And to actually go from disclosing for the very first time in your life the trauma that you experienced as a child, especially of this nature, telling somebody, having the details of that aired, and talking about people talking about your perpetrator, even though you may well stay anonymous, but it's your story, it's out there. And then getting to the point where you actually can trust enough to make a police statement is a huge feat, my brothers and sisters. Let it never, ever be underestimated. Let it never, ever be underestimated what survivors have to endure. But one of the most saddening things for me, which is what I said last week, is just how we haven't moved on as a community. We literally have not moved on as a community. We have kept the same nasty mindset that was brought over by some of the original abusers from the Caribbean. The same nasty mindset whereby victims are blamed. People like myself that speak out are ostracized, tried to be driven out of their work or whatever it is that these people do by way of intimidation. But the one thing with me, and I always say to people that try to bully me, especially when I know that I'm standing in truth and that the Father and the ancestors back my works, I will stand firm to the death. Let me tell you, that's the character that I am. But what I don't like, my brothers and sisters, is the level of onslaught and how victims must feel. I'm all right. I'm a big girl. I can stand up to this scrutiny. But when it comes onto the actual victims, the level of fear in some of the people that I've spoken to this week, fear of exposure, fear of harm, it's just so tragic. It's so tragic. We really are dealing with some very serious and tragic incidents and issues within our community. And there's so many people that want to stifle that. There's so many people that want to keep that down and not be dealing with any of that. But we're saying that we stand firm today. His time is up from a long time ago. Their time is up, because it isn't actually just men that are involved in this. We've seen the denial of mothers and what that does. We've seen that. We've heard many story from our sisters that have come on and shared their stories. Many a story of where mothers have denied them, called them liars, and what have you. We knew with the care homes when we were talking about Veronica Cadogan, and we knew that she was complicit, knowing that the children were being abused and handpicked by paedophiles and letting that slide for the sake of money. So we've got a very similar story tonight, my brothers and sisters. Now, you guys may remember a post that I put up a couple of days ago on my Instagram. I'm sure all of you have seen it. It was a picture of this individual. Yeah. Now, this is sourced from the public domain, so there's nothing private about this image. It's in the public domain. If you Google it, it will pop straight up, and that's definitely where I have sourced it. But yeah, that individual again, I'll show you one more time. That individual is the sister of the individual that we spoke about last week and the week before. Yeah. Now, you know what really gets me about these people? You see, wicked people, when they want to cover their tracks, they lash out at everybody else. They go to every great length to try to shut down and hide what their works are, especially if it's profitable. So, as I say, we've been speaking to a number of sources along the way. Now, it started off with just a couple of people that had spoken to me about these individuals and what had been going on in the care homes of Lambeth, because this is actually part of a bigger story, is it not? This is not just about Vassal House or Elm Park or Melting Pot or any of the other Black-owned care homes that were operating in the Lambeth area at that time. This is about a bigger picture, as you've all seen in the news with what's been going on in Shirley Oaks and the rest of the Lambeth care homes. It's a bigger picture. But you see, there's a part of the puzzle, my brothers and sisters, that I had no idea existed. I hadn't even paid that much attention to the Lambeth issue or the Shirley Oaks issue prior to this. But in all that we have uncovered and connected and exposed in the last 15 months on this platform, what we've seen is we've established the links. We know that there was a Black paedophile ring of the community, from the community, operating within the whole web of the Lambeth care home scandal. And it's actually the missing part of the puzzle, as far as I'm concerned. It's the missing part of the puzzle, because there's a whole lot that was going on. And we've heard about some of those. We've heard about it in the news. They've paid out money. They've got the redress scheme. But there's a part of it when it comes to the privately owned Black care homes that Lambeth don't want to deal with. And I wonder why. This is why we're calling for a public inquiry. This is why we've met with Lambeth MPs and we're due to meet with them again. This is why we held a march, because we need accountability, not only from Lambeth itself, but also from the police, because we want to know why these things weren't investigated. But what I'm going to talk about now, in fact, I'll say what I've got to say afterwards. It's just another thing that shakes me to the absolute core, because it's a continuation of really the scandal that was going on at Vassal House and those who ran it. It's a continuation of that. And as I said, the individuals whose image I just showed is the sister of this person who allegedly was abusing young girls in care homes, in Vassal House care home back in the day. So now what we have, it seems, is not just one person, but another person in the family that is totally corrupt. So we've received information that TC's sister, who runs apparently it's a very popular establishment called Yasser in Thornton Heath, as you've seen in the picture, and is also partner, not just business partner, but romantic partner to the other person you see in the picture, which is Andrew Dell. And I will say his name. Now that, because they're in the picture and it's public knowledge. So that individual, Yvonne Clark, is not only business partners, but as I said, also romantically inclined with this individual, and they run an empire. Okay. But prior to meeting that individual, this woman became a foster carer after Lambeth shut down the care homes. All right. This is information received from an extremely credible and reliable source. So once that happened, once the care homes were shut down, the next venture was for this woman to become a foster carer. And apparently had young girls living with her around the age of 13, 14, 15 at best. Now, I don't know how many pairs of young girls passed through that establishment. I am aware that at one point, I think she had two Somali girls or Ethiopian girls or something like that. Now, I don't know if it's these girls that I'm talking about, but I do know that there were girls living in that person's house as foster children, placed there by Lambeth or Beckenham, actually. And while that was the case, this individual was also shacked up with the man in the picture. Now, the man in the picture is reported to have allegedly, abused those two foster children, sexually abused those two foster children, and actually got one of them pregnant. 14 years old, and got one of them pregnant. I mean, my goodness. So then what happens is that their foster mother, the said individual, she seeks to cover it up. She seeks to cover it up, and she takes the little girl for an abortion. And then what she does is she vacates herself from being a foster carer, moves home very quickly, and has expected, I suppose, from that point onwards, for this secret to remain buried. She's been confronted about it, I do believe, by various individuals. But at the end of the day, she is alleged to have covered this up. It's also reported that her partner is a predator, that he actually quite likes young girls, and that actually everybody who comes into that establishment, this has come from other sources as well, not just the individual that has given us the information about the foster care. But it's reported by individuals that, young girls that work at Yasser, young girls that have been on trials at Yasser, there is a predatory nature about the individual that owns not only the deli restaurants, but also Yasser, and that is Andrew, who's in the picture. Sorry, gosh, what's the name? Totally forgotten it. Is it Andrew? I do believe it is Andrew as well. I'm so bad with names, honestly. Let's have a look at it again. I think it's Andrew, isn't it? Yeah. I just said the name, now I've forgotten it. Look at that. I think they call that menopause brain, people. I think that's what they call it. Let's have a look. Yeah, Andrew Dell. So I wasn't wrong. It's because I was talking about the other Andrew. I thought that the Andrew in Jamaica, I thought maybe I've mixed the names up. Yeah, so this individual is a predator by all accounts. That's the intel that's coming in. That's the stories that we're being told. And that there's young girls that have actually walked out of the job, not even bothered to collect their pay because they cannot take the predatory nature of this individual. So I'm actually appealing for anyone who's been affected by that man to come forward. We have made police reports, and we've also, don't know what's happened there. How weird. Yeah, we have made police reports, and we've also contacted social services because we want to trace these girls. Apparently as well, the information that we've been given is that allegedly those girls were actually given hush money on top of it. I'm just about sick and tired. We're not respecter of people here. We are a respecter of right and wrong. And this platform stands for victims. No longer are we going to stand up in our community and allow people to intimidate those who want to uncover the nastiness that has been going on in our community. It just won't wash anymore. It just won't wash anymore, my brothers and sisters. I am absolutely gobsmacked. If these allegations are true, Cadogan was dead. There's nothing we could really do to her. As much as all we could do was expose what was going on there, expose her children's part in it. But actually, there was nothing we could do to her. But if these allegations are true, And if social services are able to track down these individuals and they are able to give us their testimony, then heaven help these people. Let me tell you that. And like I said, we're not hiding and talking, because that's one thing they cannot influence. You know, they can ring up YouTube or email YouTube or make reports or do whatever and take down videos, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But you cannot stop the truth coming out. Let me tell you that for nothing. And right now, like I said, we are following. I'm really glad it's unlike the rat victims in this regard, in that people are willing to speak a lot more readily than I reckon rat would be. The rat victims are, sorry. But that's, you know, those are specific reasons around that. And we're working towards bringing those cases as well. But right now, when it comes to this one, so many people are speaking out in my inbox. It's unbelievable. It feels like rat all over again, you know, but they're speaking in secret. With rat, we saw a big outpouring on WhatsApp and people sending other videos and making their testimonies and filling up my inbox and all sorts going on. But people are whispering in silos with this one. And we are gathering as much evidence as we possibly can. That's what we are doing. Yeah. We will back down for nobody, because I know what I am saying has come from good and reliable sources. That's what I will say to you. I'm not going to reveal too much on my hand, but they've come from good and reliable sources. There's no plating here. And those people are willing to back what they are saying. That's what's going on, my brothers and sisters. So I just cannot believe that there is a mother, and there's other things as well that's taken place with her own children, which I've actually, I was asked to call all of it out. But actually, I've made the decision that, you know what? That's their stories. Let that be their stories. They've not come to me as victims, but they are absolutely appalling, the things that she's allowing to happen, even with her own children. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely believable. And, you know, talk about keep it in the family. You know, what else was going on at those care homes? We've got so many testimony that's yet to come out anyway. And if these people say they're going to sue me for defamation of character, then let the games begin. That's all I've got to say with that one. Because when actually the evidence is presented before the court, I'm going to actually wonder who it is that's going to be on the other side of those proceedings. That's all I've got to say about that. We are resolute, my brothers and sisters. We are not playing with none of them, because as far as I'm concerned, nobody that I've called out on this platform has ever come and defended themselves properly. They've never defended themselves so that we can see or believe another side of the story. No. They go into overdrive. There's someone on here called Garnet Cross. If that's the Garnet Cross that I called out before, you're one of them, my brother. Let me tell you that. So we got too much on you. We called you out before. So really and truly, unless you want another show to be done on you next week, fully, you please. I don't know if it's the Garnet Cross. Let's hope it isn't. But right now, yeah, frightened. Why wouldn't they be? And why would I feel any shame in outing this level of decadence and debauchery that has been going on in our community? And all for gain. You know, our source tells us that this individual, this woman here, is all about money. And that is the reason why she's allowed this fat cat who owns a string of restaurants or whatever, according to our source. That's the reason why, you know, she's allowed these things to happen, why she shut down his behavior. And it may well be the reason that she has him over a barrel. Who knows? Because the other thing that we were told as well is that prior to meeting him, is that she had tried to befriend another restaurateur from the Jamaican community, and ingratiated herself with him as his lover and whatever, and started to take care of his business, and then had secretly taken him down as director of that business and put herself on it. Only the man found out, allegedly, and brought her to a graveyard and held a gun to her head, so she had to switch it back. And when we were doing our research, we realized actually that very recently on Company's House, her name has also been taken, has been put up as the director of the deli restaurant. So we just found all of that very interesting. You know, we've been told about dodgy dealings. We've been told about, you know, herself and her brother living in each other's addresses to avoid tax, of which we have reported as well. So Let the games begin, because we are not hiding here. And as I say, we are also engaging the authorities with what we know. And I am absolutely disgusted. I'm calling for all victims who have been affected, not only by TC, Tony Clark himself, but also by this other individual now, Andrew Dell, yeah? Or anyone that was affected, again, in Vassal House, to come forward and DM me on @AfuaRose69 on Instagram, and we will take it from there. I will take you through the process, my brother or my sister. I will take you through that process. We're not playing with them today. His time is up was not just about Vincent Ratt. It was about highlighting and pulling the lid off of what has been going on in our community for generations. And is it any wonder that these individuals are friends with yours truly? Guess who? Vincent Ratt. They are friends. They are associates of these people. Why do all roads seem to lead back to him? This is what I want to know. Why do all roads seem to lead back to this individual? We are sick of it in our community, and we won't stand for it any longer. It's as simple as that. Take down videos makes no never mind. Really, really doesn't. Makes no never mind whatsoever. Now, I was hoping that our sister would be coming on, Sister G, to try to make this phone call with me. She said she would try, but she's a little bit engaged at the moment. And we are going to try and maybe ring him back towards the end of the show. But yes, my brothers and sisters, this is what's going on behind closed doors with people that put themselves as pillars of the community. All do it, that narcissistic trait. When you know you've got these things going on, why is it that you come the way that you come? We've seen it with Eamon Edwards. We've seen it with Ratt. We've seen it with this lot now. You understand? We saw it with some of the Cadoggans. You guys know. You must know. How? I don't understand why so many people want to tell lies on these individuals. I just don't get it. You know, it will start with 3 people. In the case of victims speaking out. In these cases, we're talking about slightly different things. But it will start with 3 people. And before you know it, my inbox is full of all these people giving testimony, going, oh my God, I can't believe that they've been called out for after all this time. This was my story. This was my story. There's no way these people can coordinate that kind of effort. They can't all be lying. And what would be the motive for lying? I don't get it. I don't get what the motive is. I really don't get it. I don't get why, you know, we've seen testimony time and time again where people literally lay themselves bare, telling you their deepest, darkest secrets, only to be vilified and judged. No one puts themselves in that position. It's a damn shame. Yes, Desiree. It's a damn shame. All linked, you know? Shame on anybody. And trying to hide it. You know, most of them have the motive of money or misguided loyalty, or they want to cover their own shame and sacrifice the sufferers. We're sick of it. Sick of it, my brothers and sisters. But I actually can't believe that this person has gone from already being in a care home situation whereby there was so many atrocities taking place within that establishment. And I find it very hard to believe that that was entirely on the brother alone. You know, that individual must have known. And as I said the last couple of weeks, the actual homes were, in terms of whose name was on the business, was the mother and this woman. So I find it very hard to believe. And even if we take out her brother's shenanigans in those care homes, the abuse that those children suffered, let's talk about all the other things that were taking place that were highly inappropriate and definitely not compliant with what should have been Lambeth standards. Not that they had too many, hence the reason these things were allowed to prevail. So my brothers and sisters, I just want to say that we are resolute and we are strong and we are armed, and we are most definitely going to drive this as far as it needs to go. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be looking at new cases, as we always do. We never just focus on one case. Sometimes they sit in the background until they come up again, as we saw with David Gray and people like that. But at the end of the day, this isn't going anywhere. It will be continuing in the background, as far as I'm concerned, if it needs to. Like I said, I'm waiting on a defamation case. Like, I ain't heard nothing yet. So let's see where that goes. And I'm appalled. I'm appalled that a mother, a woman, you know, and I'm also told that this person is actually the driving force behind the campaign against me in order to try. They've got lots of fake pages, chatting rubbish and all kind of madness. All kind of madness. Funny how these things are just only popping up now that these people have been implicated. It's just ridiculous. But we already know their game, my brothers and sisters. Nobody falls for that. It doesn't get a lot of traction. We've seen it all before in terms of this behavior. And I think I did a show whereby I broke down the pathology of pedophiles and enablers. I think I did a whole show about that once, actually. So yes, I did. I'm going to put the link in for those who want to come on and chat. It'd be lovely to hear from some of these individuals, hear what they've got to say for themselves. And we'll see what happens. It's on the screen. Let's see what goes down. See who wants to jump on. Give it a little bit of time, my brothers and sisters. But yeah, man, it's let's just look at some comments while we're waiting. Let's see what's going on. You know, I always showcase yours, Desiree. You've always come with the pearls of wisdom. Any man with any morals and integrity would even get a whiff of any type of abuse of vulnerable ones. You'd automatically break that link you have with them. Come correct for FFS. Protect the vulnerable ones. But my sister, that would suppose that those people have any type of moral fabric. That's the point, isn't it? They say, you know, money is the root of all evil, but it's not. The love of money is the root of all evil. And that's actually what the Bible passage says. And a lot of the time, this is what is driving the motivation, you know. And if you're of any kind of belief, whether you are spiritual or religious, you will know that if you sow evil seeds, then you must reap them one day. You must reap them. His time is up, my brothers and sisters. Hashtag his time is up. Their time is up. She time is up. Her time is up. The whole of them time is up, my brothers and sisters. It is done. It is. I've said to you many, many times, it's already done in the spirit. And that's why it cannot be stopped. Yeah. Even if I drop dead tomorrow, this movement will continue. Yeah. And we're working actually with those people that we're taking on board. What I want to do is actually start to groom and almost train, if you like, individuals that can take over in my absence. I think that's very important. You know, I'm not about to sit here with some big ego thinking I'm the only person that can do this. Really, it's not. And yeah, as I say, can't stop the time. We work on Garveyite principles, you know, and I say to every single one of you, and especially our survivors in this room and in the community, in the words of our founding father, Marcus Garvey, up, 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 you mighty people, accomplish what you will, because we are not stopping. And this whole thing is based on Garveyite principle. You know, that's why we're not driving anything. We're saying, like, give just as little as a pound if you have it, so we can grow this thing. You know, donate your time, donate something. It's about time in our community that we started to do for self. And that means cleaning out our dirty cupboards. That's what it means, my brothers and sisters. We need to clean out those dirty cupboards. I'm going to put the link once again. Quiet in the halls. Quiet. Hey. But you know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, my brothers and sisters, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And the passage says, therefore, put on the whole armor of God, put on the breastplate of righteousness and the helmet of salvation. Yeah, that's what we need to do out here today. A few banners that I haven't ran for a while. My brothers and sisters, if you want to donate, there are the links at the bottom of the page. Please do. We are always grateful, and we are trying to build as we speak, as I said, one brick at a time on Garveyite principles. That's what we're doing. I think, yeah, the stream's gone in once more. Put that there. Keep running the link, moderators. I want to hear from some people tonight. I'll give it a few more minutes, and then after that, I'm going to go off and doll myself up. That's what I'm going to do. I plan to take a couple of weeks off, like I said, my brothers and sisters, and just chill and do gym and do steam and just do our thing, you know. But yeah, very quiet, very, very quiet from people that came out so strong. Don't understand it. Like I said, we are expecting a full investigation into these allegations. As I say, they are still allegations. And that's why we're doing our due diligence, and we're doing our investigations, and we're calling for an investigation. Because if there were foster children in a placement at whatever period of time this took place, they will be traceable, and they'll be traceable through, I believe it's Beckenham or Bromley. It's one of the two. We've written to Beckenham. If it isn't Beckenham, then it's definitely Bromley. So we've written to them, and I'm expecting a conversation actually once we get a point of contact, as I said. So these people will be traceable. No, Denise Bell, I'm not the police, but I'll tell you one thing. The police have not been serving our community very well, especially historically, and particularly when it comes on to what was going on in Lambeth care homes. So no, I may not be the police, but as it was with the Jeffrey Epstein case, the R. Kelly case, and all the other cases that we've seen, the only way to gather historic evidence or historic victims is to do things like what we are doing, is to actually make those things public in the best way that we know how, and to bring victims to the actual case. That's the only way to do it. So I may not be the police. It sounds like a little bit of a infantile statement because it's pretty obvious I'm not the police, but this is the way that we do it. And it's always reaped dividends. It has always reaped dividends. Anytime we've done a call out and we run that story and we expose that person, guaranteed there's people that will come forward with similar stories. Now, I may not say any story. I might just say this person has been accused of sexually abusing young girls back in the day. Yeah? Next minute, my inbox will fill up with people telling very similar stories about that person from different places, different ages, unconnected. Come on, guys. This is not a joke. This is not people trying to make it up. Yeah? We always examine connections between people. Always. And as I say, anyway, we've said it time and time again. For those that don't understand it, yeah, that is actually your problem. And that's what we believe. So we'll continue to do what we're doing. You can't stop a movement. Even if you kill one story, you still can't stop the movement. So I just don't understand what it is that they are hoping to achieve, my brothers and sisters. I really don't get it. Really don't get it. But I would say that any victims come forward. And I would also say that we all should be very, very careful in our community about who we do business with and who we let around our children. That's all I need to say. Everybody else needs to make up their own mind, but I know what I would do. It's just, I mean, like I said, if these allegations are true, oh my God, why? Why? For what? You know, there's another, I'm all Bible today because I've been doing my fasting as usual, especially on the Sabbath, which is today. But the Bible also says, you know, the scripture, not just the Bible, you can find it in many ancient Egyptian texts, in the Quran, the same principle, even in Buddhism. But what will it gain a man or a woman in this case? What will it gain a person to, what will it benefit a person to gain the world and lose their soul? Yeah? Or maybe they don't believe there is in the afterlife. Maybe they don't believe that they have a soul. Because my God, some of the things that I've heard over the last 15 months, I cannot identify with these people as human beings. I really, really can't, my brothers and sisters. It's just absolutely horrendous. Please come in. Would love to hear from Yvonne Clark or Tony Clark. I'm inviting you. Come and have your say. You know? Come and have your say. Unbelievable, brothers and sisters. Sabbath is from 6 o'clock Friday evening till 6 o'clock Saturday evening. Nubian 369. That's my understanding under the Hebrew order and Rasta. So yeah, maybe people keep it at different times. I think it usually goes according to the moon cycle with some people, but we know it as 6 in the evening on a Friday till 6 in the evening on a Saturday. That is known as Sabbath. But yeah, my brothers and sisters, doesn't look like anyone's coming in. That is the presentation for this evening. As I say, we stand resolute as always. There is nothing that's going to change on this platform. As I say, we can keep going until we go to another platform. I don't know if you remember when David Icke was banned because of the COVID stuff. You know, I'd been listening to that guy for like 20 odd years or something. And suddenly when the COVID thing came out, when everything that he had been saying for the past 25 years was now coming to pass, and nobody could actually call him a conspiracy theorist anymore, they actually just banned him on every single platform you can imagine. But there is another platform, a guy called, I think, David Rose or something like that. Robert, I can't remember the guy's name, from London Real, just created his own platform. And now you can watch David Icke on there all the time. So, you know, this is the digital age. It is the social media revolution. And none of these platforms are indispensable at the end of the day. They're useful, and yes, they reach the masses and whatever, but it will not stop the time. And I really need people to understand that. It will never, ever stop the time. It's not going to happen. These women deserve a voice. They've held it for too long. As I say, even some of the people that I've spoken to this week, the fear in them because of these individuals that seek to harm and intimidate, you know, you need to repent. That's it. You know, some of you know what you've done. You know what you've done to these people, yet you seek to muzzle them in their pain. You will not grant them that loosing. But I say today, woman, thou art loose. Thou art loose today, woman. Yeah, and we just got to keep it going, my brothers and sisters. So, yeah, link in one more time before we lock off, because as I say, I'm making it quick and sharpy. I'm going to put the link in, and I'm going to try this individual called Andrew Richardson in Jamaica one more time. Let's see what happens. If he's in the chat, even better. You're a nastiness, is what you are. And you actually didn't ever think that this would come out in the public domain, now did you? But the sister spoke her truth. Who are we to say she's lying? There's nearly 550 people on this live tonight, my brothers and sisters. So I've no doubt that he's probably in the bushes somewhere. In the bushes somewhere. I wish there was a veil or something that you could kind of lift up to show them in the bushes. His phone's not connected. Yes, my brothers and sisters, onwards and upwards. We are resolute. And also to report as well, despite the efforts of certain individuals, I'm still in the nominations for the Black Awards. I'm very proud of the Black Awards. As I said last week, we should keep on voting and vote for whoever you feel you need to vote for in all categories. In my category as well, there's just 3 of us, Courtney Griffiths, Anna Romney, I think her name is, and myself in the Honours of Distinction category under Community Achievement. But you vote for who you think you should, who you want to vote for. And that's what I will say on that. But I'm definitely still in the running. And I would like to be a great ambassador for the Black Awards, because I think it's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing that we're doing in the community. And we need to build it year on year. I remember when the Mobo Awards actually was just coming up. It certainly isn't what it was or what it became. From those days, it took the support of the community and people to actually patronize that platform for it to grow into the huge thing that it is now. And it would have been probably the same with the Grammys and the Oscars back in the 50s or something like that. So let's support the Black Awards. Yeah, they are more than just awards. They've got a lot of initiatives going. Check out their website. And yeah, vote for me. Vote for whoever you feel you need to vote for. But the important thing is that good will always, always, always triumph over evil, my brothers and sisters. They cannot stop the time. It cannot. The bag is already open. The scab is already off. And the gloves are definitely off as far as we are concerned. Myself, my team, all the victims that are willing to stand tall. We're absolutely ready for whatever comes next. And yes, my brothers and sisters. So that is me for tonight. I want to wish you all a great, great night. Unless somebody wants to come in and speak, I'll give you one more chance. One more chance. Yeah, someone called Juanita Gray. I'm assuming that's not a family member of Jean Grey. Whoops, a family member of Jean Grey. I'm assuming it's not. I'm assuming that it's actually yeah. It's maybe the other Gray, Tasha Gray, that was on the other week. I think my glasses have just broken. I don't actually know what happened there. That's so weird. But yes, my brothers and sisters, it's been a pleasure as always to sit and commune with you guys. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to sit and commune with you guys. And we're going to chop it up again real soon. I need a break. I am absolutely exhausted. I tell you, the last month or so has been a real challenge in terms of some of the things that have come in. Oh God, Hot Skull. Sorry, I just got distracted there. Hot Skull says, so they're selling food and putus. Putus. I haven't heard that word since I was a youth. My dad used to say that, but it would, allegedly. As I say, let's see what happens in the inbox. All the victims come forward. Everyone that's been affected by those individuals come forward. If you've ever had a job at Yassa and you felt intimidated or sexually harassed, let us know. Yeah, because there's a lot coming out. And I'd like to see some corroboration on some of the things. Some of the things have already been corroborated. And as I say, we're going to be doing our investigations, my brothers and sisters. So yes, my brothers and my sisters, stay blessed, stay well. The bushes have eyes. Yeah, man, the bushes have eyes, but the eyes of the Most High are brighter and bigger, and they see a lot more. I see a lot more, my brothers and sisters. Just go through some of the comments actually before I leave you. Let's run it up to the hour. We got 5 minutes till the hour. Let's just play around a little bit. Oh gosh, no. Oh God. Who is this Denise Bell who's causing trouble, moderator? I know you can deal with them anyway. Put them out. Put them on timeout. We're not having it. Too much. Can you imagine though, if you really want to tell your story and all you can hear is these people with their nasty little comments, calling me a liar, calling them a liar. Lioness says, can I post a link one more time? I'll try. I don't know for what it's worth because people don't seem like they want to come in and talk. They like going into the comments. It's all good. We are going to be, the other thing that I'm going to be working on in the next couple of weeks as well is, you remember we spoke about having a separate night to Friday nights that is going to have a slightly different format. It will be kind of along the same lines, but sort of maybe looking into things a little bit more in depth, and maybe generally looking at different issues that affect the community as well as what we're talking about here. So you guys were really for it. And I'm going to have a think about that in my time off. Yeah. I mean, I may well come back on Friday next week. I've been saying for the past, 3 weeks, I'm going to be off next week. I'm going to be off next week. I'm going to be off next week. And so far it actually hasn't happened. So yeah, let's see if it happens. If something urgent or pressing comes up, I may come back on Friday, or actually I might just do an impromptu Instagram live. They've actually let me back on there now. So I might do an impromptu Instagram live, or I might just, just take it easy. It all depends on the priorities, really. As I said, if something pressing comes in. Before I go, actually, as it's come to my mind, has anybody heard the name Andrew Bonnick? Andrew Bonnick from Streatham. There's been a lot coming in about this brother, and I've yet to find the time to actually investigate that. But there's been a lot coming in, a lot, and I'm going to be chasing that up in the time off as well. But I'm going to put the name out there. There's just something in my spirit that says do it, because I'm told that this person really is a nasty, nasty piece of work. I'm told that they've been up to all manners of evil in our community. So if you've been affected by anyone called Andrew Bonnick, if you know him and some of the nasty things that he gets on with, then please inbox me as well. Also, we've got some chasing up to do in Nottingham, Birmingham, and so on. So yeah, we really are going to try, especially once we get the helpline up and running, to try to sort of focus on other areas as well. Brixton is Brixton, and we know what's going on down there. But there are other people in other areas that actually, those areas deserve the same type of attention, my brothers and sisters. Yes, indeed. Put the link in one more time. Here we go. You know, I've even had reports as far afield as Scotland, which is dread. Yes, my sister. That is how you read my mind, sir. Nicola M. How you read my mind, sir. So that's definitely one of the things that I want to be focusing on in the break as well. We need to bring that forward. And especially as the march gets closer and closer, that's going to be a lot more relevant as well. So yeah, man, it's all going through. Somebody says here, ask about the local authority and people start catch feelings. Oh, okay. I ask about the local authority and people start catch feelings. Don't know what that's about. I thought that was about something else. So Andrew Phillips says the council and police are useless. Sometimes they are, but it's really about how you proceed with them. It's about how you navigate their space and the language that you use. And how many of their processes and protocols and red tape you're willing to exhaust, whether or not they listen to you. So it's a whole course. I mean, these are the things that we really would like to deliver. You know, how to navigate yourself through child protection proceedings, for instance. That's another minefield for our sisters a lot of the time. And yeah, how to deal with these people, how to bring recourse and due process to them, so that we will be heard. You know, we're not about going out and rioting in the streets or anything like that. That never got us anywhere. There's a time for everything. But when we're talking about what we're trying to achieve, it's really about doing that through due process. And that takes a hell of a lot of time. As I say, we are not going anywhere. We are the His Time Is Up family. We are here to stay. And no stone will ever be left unturned, my brothers and sisters. No stone will ever be left unturned. We're on the hour, right on the hour, and that's probably a first as well. We ran over a little bit last week, but my brothers and sisters, it's been wonderful to sit with you. Keep vigilant, keep your reports coming. Remember, the shame does not belong to you. It belongs to your perpetrator. It belongs to those that choose to hurt other people, who have groomed you into thinking that it belongs to you. But his time is up today. And woman, thou art loosed. Blessed love, my brothers and sisters. Blessed love.